G'day and welcome to a new video. In today's video, I'm going to be applying a herbicide to the back lawn, cleaning up the weeds, following on from what I was talking about in my last video. And also this front lawn has been getting neglected a little bit of late, so I'm going to be paying a bit of attention out here. The colour that we have got out here at the moment is absolutely fantastic. We're starting to get a little bit of kikuyu seed head come up from the bits of kike that are in there, but the rye, hopefully you can see that all right, but the rye in here is growing way above the kike. It's growing absolutely beautifully, but anyway, I need to, firstly today I'm just going to use the blower to get rid of the leaves off here. As you can see, it's well and truly autumn. The leaves are turning yellow and they're falling all over the place. So anyway, I'm going to get rid of the leaves with the blower. I'm going to clean up the edges and give it a cut out here. I much need a double cut. I can't remember, I think it was maybe a week and a half ago that I cut this actually. So yeah, definitely a bit neglected, but that's okay. It's looking fantastic. We've got fantastic colour and it's going to look really nice after today, as well as once this application kicks in. So let's get into it. There is the Lawn Tips spring mix out onto the lawn. I still got to do the nature strip, but anyway. So I decided to use the spring mix today. I do have the winter mix from Ben, but the reason I chose to use the spring mix is because the rye in here hasn't had this mix of fertilizer. So I wanted to get that on here first. And because it is a bit more of a cool season-ish sort of lawn, it's not as desperate to get that more potassium root focused products into it just yet. But probably in about 4 weeks, right on the verge of winter, is when I'll apply that winter mix. My next application to the back lawn, which is pure warm season grass, will be the winter mix, and I'll probably get a granular fertilizer out there soon as well. But yeah, good to get that sprayed out, good even coverage across here. It's looking really, really nice after a cut for sure. So yeah, really happy with how it's ticking along, not really seeing any issues, a couple little bits of weed, some oxalis and a bit of plantain and stuff in a few little sections. Might need a little bit of bow and arrow at some point, but overall looking really good. Now it's time to get out the back. Actually, to be honest, it's probably lunchtime. And then it's time to get out the back and get a herbicide out there. The weather's just about to turn a bit, so yeah, I want to get some herbicide sprayed out there. It's cracking weather at the moment. We've had a really good patch, but yeah, anyway, it's time to make sure I get that out beforehand, before this weather turns a little bit and we get some rain and whatnot. I want that killing the weeds. So anyway, I'll see you out the back. And out here on the back lawn, things are coming along well, burning in some nice single doubles. Please comment whether you think these should be single double diamonds or checkers. Can't decide, but something super exciting out here is that we got 5 cubic meters play mulch spread yesterday. Really happy to have that done. Looks so nice. Around the rest of the backyard, we've got this cotton steel edging, which you can sort of see there, I think. So yeah, that's going to be down this edge, which is going to be so much nicer to mow against. Hopefully the kids are going to keep their mulch inside the playground. That would be really nice. But yeah, in terms of the weed control, that was a bit dodgy. Yeah, I don't feel like I did the best job of explaining things in my video last week about the Spartan pre-immersion. But anyway, in terms of the grassy weeds that I've got in here, I was exchanging some messages with Ben from Lawn Tips, and even there were some things that we weren't quite sure about exactly what it was. But there's definitely some bits and pieces in here of onion grass. So you can see there, this little weed here, long stringy weed with that bulb on the end, that little bit of onion grass. Also this stringy stuff in here, which is some sort of rye. And yeah, definitely a few other weeds in here that bow and arrow is gonna help a lot with. And that Spartan is definitely going to help me out with a lot of those weeds in preventing them. But yeah, for now, I need to treat them. This garden bed looking real nice with some mulch as well. That mulch was supplied to me by Daisy's Garden Supplies as well, so a massive thanks to them. This is the product that I'm rolling with, Lonhro as the name for it, and it is going to kill a few bits and pieces like winter grass, if I had any, ryegrass. It's going to kill bindi, black thistle, cat's ear, cudweed, oxalis, which is one that I've got in here, white clover. So we'll see how much this actually cleans up. I might not need bow and arrow as much with some of that clover, but anyway. Also a bit of paspalum. It's meant to suppress the paspalum. The main thing I'm interested in here is in that section there, which talks about onion weed. Now, the substance is this grainy stuff that's really difficult to work with, and how much I need, or the rate, is 1.5 grams per 100 square meters. So to measure out 7.5 grams on my little kitchen scales, which I need to upgrade, very, very difficult. So what I did is I filled this little measuring jug right up to the top, and I found that 60 mils on this was 30 grams, a bigger portion, easier to weigh out. So then I needed about a quarter of that, so then I've just filled it up down to around about 15 mil on the cup, because it's a quarter. It should work out pretty close. Hopefully that makes sense. That's what I'm doing with that. Rate of water for this, I could have used, for my 500 square meters, I could have used between 10 and 25 liters. I've filled it up to my normal, right on about 30 liters, just because I know that gets me nice and evenly across the lawn. Fine to do, you want to stick to the rates as much as possible. I'm going to slightly a little bit more water, which I think is all right. If I was going way under at 2 liters of water or way over at 60 liters of water, that's when it gets a little bit ridiculous, but I'm almost bang on that rate, so should be completely fine, as well as getting across in a few directions to make sure I get really good coverage. So I'm happy with that. So I'm going to hook my battery on, get it sprayed. Just want all those granules in the herbicide to make sure they've broken down and dissolved. So I'll just, yeah, probably take a couple of minutes to tidy up and do a few bits and pieces and make sure that just sits for a sec, agitate it around, get it mixed in, to make sure I'm getting the best results. Alright, so that is all sprayed out. I just wanted to say something that I have done today when I was planning out my day. I deliberately did the fertilizer on the front lawn first before I did the herbicide on the back lawn, just because I didn't want to on my gumboots be taking that herbicide onto the front lawn. I'd prefer to bring fertilizer onto here, if that makes sense. Also with this herbicide, I can't apply it to my front lawn because would kill that ryegrass baby seed. So it's gonna kill the annoying, stringy, weedy sort of ryegrass, but it's also going to do damage to my rye that I've actually seeded and I want there. So I can't use that herbicide out on the front, can use it out here, so that's going to be good. I'm going to clean up lots of crap with that. And yeah, this lawn is in pretty good condition right now. I'm pretty happy with it. Recovered really nicely from that scalp and scarify. Going to be having a real focus on getting some potassium out here, the Lawn Tips winter mix, a granular herbicide, a granular fertilizer, sorry, I meant soon, to give this a last granular feed before we go into winter, and we don't want to be using granular products anymore. Look, I feel like there was something else I wanted to say in this clip, but I cannot remember it. So I'm just gonna say thanks for watching, like and subscribe and all of that YouTube stuff. But yeah, hopefully you got something out of today's video. Looking forward to keeping these lawns going for the cooler months. See you in the next one. Oh, I remembered. What I was gonna say was, if you're using a rotary mower with weeds, you wanna make sure that you leave it for a few days before you use the herbicide so that the weed can grow back out above the grass. If I had have just cut this with a rotary mower, it's okay with a cylinder because it rolls over and then, you know, kind of stands back up after you've mowed anyway. But with a rotary and you cut everything, you want it to stay there and sitting up. So you don't want to apply a herbicide the day after a mow or something. You'd want to wait a few so that the weeds grow back out. That's all. See you later.